Never even got notified.
You haven't. Should have. Somebody got notified. Who's on? There's 3 people on. This has been like a rush tonight.
Yeah, we just got off work.
Yeah, we just. KG, come here.
I don't know why I didn't get notified.
I don't know. Did
there,
you hit
but
the
I
bell?
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Terry. Terry Burns.
Oh, you got your audio on.
No, no more.
Okay. Oh man, we close at 8,
Hey,
and
Charlie.
our live starts at 8.
You watching?
So it was like we
Hurry,
had to
hurry,
kind of
hurry.
fudge a little bit. So anyway, closed about 3 minutes to 8, and we're here, wherever here is. So come here, KG. Want to say hi?
We're buffering.
We are. How can we be buffering?
Well,
Are you saying we are?
okay. We doing okay, you guys? Good
All right.
connectivity?
There's 4 people here. 3, 4.
No, there should be.
So it was kind of one of those days where.
I finally just got notified right now.
So you're notified. Well, you ought to go on then. Anyway. Steve Moran's here. Terry Burns.
Hey, Steve Moran, how you feeling?
Barry's
hey,
here.
Barry.
Hi,
hey,
Barry.
Phil Presnell.
Yeah, so we didn't even know if we were going to have.
Phil's got his thinker on, loud and clear.
What?
Phil's got his thinker on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Steve's feeling great. Good to hear.
Good. I didn't even know we'd be able to do a live tonight. That's why we're so late getting the flyer out on YouTube and Facebook and everything. We've kind of been playing with our hours all week. We were doing 10 to 7.
Yeah.
Then we decided to do 12 to 9. But we didn't get any action like after 8 o'clock. So now we're doing 12 to 8 until
it gets busier.
And it's getting busier. We are actually doing sales every day. We have people. I mean, we are sitting here day after day, and occasionally someone will come and go, I'll be back. But now we got people coming in and buying, so that feels good. And it's raining like crazy again here today. So really hard a while ago, huh?
Yeah.
So if for some reason we go off,
that's why. Yeah, the power went off 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Came right back on, but.
Well, we shouldn't. We should be okay because we have the inverter and everything. But you never know.
You never know.
I don't know whether it would kill the power to the cell tower or whatever. But
we got 8 people watching, and I'm the 9th, so.
It's 11.
11 what?
11 people watching.
Oh yeah, it just flipped over to 11.
Yeah.
Hey everybody who hasn't said hello.
So, Cage got a bath this morning. He
feels
nice. He looks good. Tomorrow's laundry day. Exciting. Those are the things you guys want to hear. But that's part of the full-time RVing, work camping, having fun thing. So,
hi, Jen Simmons.
Actually, we've.
Hey, Karen, 2 babies, $4,000.
We got our calendar up, and our calendar doesn't go forward; it goes backwards.
Hi, Jackie of Steve and Jackie. Scenic Driveways. Hi.
There we go. Yeah, John and I been talking a lot this week.
Yeah, thumbs up, guys.
Yeah, kind of.
Thanks, Scenic.
Doing our thing.
Tardif.
John Tardif did Scenic Driveways. He did a little video the other day, a little bit of a rant. I could tell he was not real happy with things, and I watched it, and
hi, Maddie.
I had to agree. So, if you guys haven't watched him, please do.
Scenic Driveways.
Scenic Driveways. And yeah.
His videos are usually 3, 4, 5 minutes, right, JT?
Yeah, but he was like throwing dishes. And, yeah. Yeah, it was.
He'd like that.
It was pretty wild. It was. I mean, it was a wild video. And yeah, and John had a bayonet in his teeth while he was doing it. So. There, now if that doesn't get them watching your channel, see?
Now you got a lot to live up to, JT.
And then I don't know if anybody else has been seeing, but I've been putting some really, like, there was a motorhome for free that ran and drove this week.
And as always, whenever we post that stuff, you guys have to do your due diligence.
Yeah, you have to. I always tell, don't give anyone any money.
No.
Until you actually go there in person and see it
and drive it. And...
We had a friend that saw RV on.
That was my wife, JT says.
Yeah. Anyway, we had a friend who had he found this motorhome on eBay, and he put a bid in, and what happened is all of a sudden the motorhome was gone, and he never found out, you know. And this guy that had the motorhome supposedly came back on and said, or he had a phone number on there, and my buddy called him. And he said, well, look, I'm in Hawaii. I still have the motorhome. The guy backed out. But if you want the motorhome, what I'll do for you is I can have the motorhome delivered to you. It's in a storage place in San Diego. And as soon as I see that you've paid the money, I'll have the motorhome delivered. He said, I'll give you 2 weeks. If for any reason you're dissatisfied with it, I'll give you your money back and they'll come pick it up. So he paid for it, and the motorhome wasn't coming. And I told him, I said, he told me about it, and I looked it up, and it was all over the internet. It was a scam, and he got burned for like 15 grand. So you got to be really, really careful. Like I say, when somebody's got a rig out there for sale, I don't care if it's a car, a motorcycle, a pickup truck, a motorhome, a boat, whatever it is, you want to make sure that
you lay eyes on it.
That you physically go there and talk to the person and see the equipment, see the title, and all that kind of stuff. So,
Maddie, it was Scenic Driveways.
Yeah, Scenic Driveways.
And do you use Onan filters or generic? Vince would like to know.
On my generator, I use. I think I've been using a Fram oil filter on the generator,
right.
And then I get a. There's a fuel filter that I get off of Amazon, but I have to look at the fuel filter to get the number and everything off of it. And the air filter I get off, I think I get the air filter off of Amazon. And I change the coolant every year in that. I just got to, I kind of screwed up and I didn't get a coolant filter for my engine. And that's a critical thing on the 8.3 Cummins. On the 5.9s, they don't have it. 5.9, 6, 7. But on the 8.3s, they have the where you can pull the cylinders out. There's like a seal around it. And if you don't use this filter, what the filter does, it actually applies like a coating around these cylinders. And if you don't start eroding cylinders, actually your connection is unstable. Okay. Anyway, we're still on, I hope. Anyway, you got to change this filter. It looks like an oil filter. And I kind of spaced it this time, so I got one. So I'm going to put it on here before we leave. But saves you. Boy, we're really losing the watchers tonight. We must be boring.
We're buffering too.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we buffering? It's got to be the weather, folks.
Yeah.
It's got to be the weather's really bad tonight. Are we back yet?
5. People are leaving. It's the weather.
Yeah.
No.
Now we're back, huh? Yeah. It's not buffering. Sorry about that. It just, the weather is really sucky. I mean, it's cloudy and raining. It's not lightning and thundering right now. A while ago, it was raining so freaking hard. I mean, it was bad, huh?
Yeah.
It was really, really bad. This place, it rains a lot. But the difference between here and our property is we can see the cell tower. It's just less than a quarter of a mile away. And there's a tower over here, probably about a mile away from us where we're at. But I don't know if it's for Verizon or what it's for. So we do not mean to be buffering. We don't.
Bye, Barry. Hey, Liza Jane. Glad you joined us.
Liza Jane's here. So anyway, yeah, I've been
Paige
cruising.
says hi back to those of you that have said hi to him.
Okay. He's over there upside down. He's acting like he's got something to eat.
Yeah.
That he shouldn't. He got in trouble this week. I went to I think it was Arby's, and the lady there gave me
You went
two.
and got gas.
What?
Fuel. You went and got fuel.
But that's not who gave me the thing. Anyway, what
happened
is I got two little doggy bones, and I set them in the console, and I told him no, and we stopped to get gas, and I got out of the truck, and I put like 25 in, so it only took like 2 seconds.
I was not able to go because somebody needs to stay here.
So as soon as I get back in the truck, I look down and I see the things are gone, and I'm like, well, you little thief. So he hasn't been getting part of my breakfast, and he's not getting any people food. He gets his little doggy treats, and that's it. So
JT says, I know a guy who bought a low mileage Class C motorhome for $1,500. Once he started driving it, everything started falling apart because it had sat for a long time.
Yeah.
And the seals were all dried out.
Well, yeah, there was a pretty nice older RV that had been garage kept, and the guy he goes, I just want $800 for it. So I put that on there too, but I think it's gone too. Those smoking deals, they either go because they're really good, or they go because the guy got arrested. They took him in or something. So
it's a dishonest world.
Yeah.
Craigslist and Marketplace and all those places. Well, and that was RV Trader or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you get, it's just like this thing here. When we bought this, the lady wanted a lot of money for it, and the condition it was in, I just come here, come on. I told her what I thought it was worth, and that's what I was willing to give her, and she was like, "Oh no, no, I can't sell it for that." I offered her 25,000, and she owed 40 on it. And I just told her, I said, it needs a lot of work, and I go, I'm sorry, I wish I could give you more, but I told her, I said, we're gonna be full-time RVers, we're gonna be living in this and everything else, and finally she said, yeah, okay. So we were able to make the deal on it, and luckily we didn't go any higher because there was a lot of things that needed to be done, including paint it and everything else. And by the time we got done with it, we were right where it would have been if we had gave her what she wanted for it.
Yeah.
So, but everything was fixed, and that made a big difference. And got on the road, and I mean, it's always something. I mean, today part in the refrigerator broke, and it's just always something, always. And you just never know. But that's why you keep tools around, And I keep there's like a little pocket on the little drawer up here in the front and the center, and I keep screwdrivers and pliers and a crescent wrench and stuff like that there. So if we're cruising down the road and I need to do something real quick, I can. So there's been times when this thing shut off going down the road, and I had to get out and go, and I can usually know what it is, and it's a couple times it was that a solenoid that turns the fuel on and off. On this thing, the way you start the motor, you crank it, and it pulls this the solenoid kicks on and it gives it fuel and it starts. And then when you go to shut it off, it kicks the solenoid off and shuts off the fuel. So it's a pretty simple process. I mean, I've had it where I took the awning deal and reached in there and pulled it on and started it, and then when I needed to stop it, I pushed it and shut it off. So that's an emergency situation. I do not like that. It's very uncomfortable for me because if something was to happen to this thing, and the only way I had to shut it off was to go to the back and do that, that could be a real hazard. So anyway, that's something I paid $550 for something that looked like it was $12 at AutoZone. And then after the fact, I fixed the old one. So I paid $550 for something that
and that wasn't even paying for the tow, because Good Sam.
Well, no, we didn't get towed that time. That was that.
Oh.
That was that fuel solenoid. We
right.
managed to. I got it running. We drove to a Cummins dealer, and they said they had it. And we went in, and they said, "Yeah, we got it." And I told her, I said, "Okay, I'm going to go out and start taking it off." And she comes and says, "You know how much that part was?" And I said, "I don't know, $100." She goes, $550, and I have that. Yeah. And I got this thing in my hand. I'm looking at it. I'm going, "There's not $500." Cummins is very, very expensive, and you can buy all that kind of stuff online for next to nothing. Just like with the Onan generators, if you shop around a little bit, you can get parts that are $300 or $400 at Cummins for $20 or $30. So I've gotten to the point where if I don't need it right now, then I will shop around and I'll find the good. I mean, I completely redid the generator here a while back. I put a new control board, the fuel cutoff solenoid, and a new regulator, and a couple other things. I bought everything because I just wanted it to be. So if I needed to start it, I knew it was going to start, and I knew that it was going to keep running and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did. I think I spent $500 because I had time to shop around, and it works great now.
Hi, just the two of us. Looks like you made it back home, I think. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
They're in Lakeside, Montana. So they're
Lakeside,
almost.
Montana.
Well, yeah, that's where they live. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Because I saw her with her grandbabies.
They were in Missoula for a couple days, and they were in Idaho freezing to death, they said.
Yeah.
So.
Vince, it's in 1995, the motorhome.
Yeah.
And the gas fuel price is making you guys stay close to home too?
Yeah. Yeah, the price of the fuel is going up.
It's ridiculous. Hey, Jason and Amanda.
It's $4.95 here. 2 days ago, it was like $4.76, I think. And a week ago, it was like $4.39. So that's for gasoline. Diesel is $5.84. That's crazy. Thank you, Joe Biden. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this world, but hopefully God comes and takes us back before it gets to $10 a gallon, because I can't afford that. There's, the thing about it though is, I mean, if you're really positive in your own mind that the price of fuel is going to go down, now's a good time to buy, because people are selling stuff cheap because they just feel like, we can't afford to drive our motor home, 500 miles out, 500 miles back. It's just too expensive. So people are selling them.
You don't want to know how high it is here.
Where?
Jason and Amanda. 549 in Washington, Steve Moran says.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead, Jason. Amanda, tell us.
It was you see, well, gas is $5.05 and $5.85 across the freeway.
Hey, Dalton.
Dalton's here. Hey, how you doing?
Midwest Roller.
No, West Coast Roller.
No,
now
Midwest Coast Roller.
Yeah, Midwest Coast Roller, because he's headed to Midwest. So you stayed on the West Coast for a long time, though.
Maddie says it's 448 in Shiro, Texas.
Well, there's still places where it's under $4. So, um, if you have a big enough tank, you can make
Trey.
it. There we go.
We're in the middle of the wilds of Wyoming, not too far from Jackson. Miss you too. Oh, we're glad that you've got connectivity to the world.
Well, they got that new Starlink.
Mm-hmm.
Starlink. Yeah. So
sounds like a space shuttle.
That's another thing. You gotta be rich to get internet anymore.
Well, Trey and Wendy. Wow.
Yeah, they're loaded. Yeah. Us po folks. I'm gonna have to buy you some shoes someday, huh? Who's that? Johnny. So yeah. So anyway, it's kind of exciting here because it looks like it's really going to get rolling here pretty soon. And a couple of people that were in here today were talking about how crazy it was last year and how you couldn't even get in the parking lot. And I'm thinking, well, if it gets that busy, that's going to be shishing, So, and we did find a guy that's going to do the place down the road here, so that should help take a little bit of the stress off of us. So that's a good thing. So things are.
That's true, huh?
Yeah, things are getting ready to happen, and so if Trump gets in before the 4th of July, we won't have enough fireworks. I don't think. I think everybody will want to just shoot fireworks off for a month.
$4.99 in Minnesota diesel, $5 a gallon on average. What I'm paying
for diesel.
Dalton says, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where?
Minnesota. Northern Michigan, 501.
Yeah. Well, it's
no. West Coast Roller, Scenic. He's he's in Minnesota. He's not West Coast Roller anymore. We were teasing him that he's now the Midwest Coast Roller.
Yeah, he's going to go work at a KOA, and that won't last long.
We have our own experiences, I'm sure.
Man, we worked at KOAs and we have not had good experiences. So working at the campgrounds is a little like is that someone pulling hair? No. It's kind of like they treat you like a slave, and they don't want to pay you a lot of money. So, man, they always censor Maddie. There we go.
With groceries and gas going up so high, I don't know how people can afford fireworks, but they are.
Yeah.
Update soon. You're going to laugh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some. There's got to be a good one somewhere, but I mean.
Thank you, Maddie.
Yeah, a lot of people really have bad attitudes about it, and I try not to really discourage people because sometimes they'll go there and they'll have a wonderful experience. I mean, some people really loved working at Amazon. We worked at Amazon probably 5 years, huh?
Yeah.
We do it
5 seasons.
And every year we wondered why we did it. And we finally got to the point where we just said, we're not going to do it anymore. And we haven't done it since. So that's hard labor. I'll tell you one thing about this fireworks thing. If it pans out with the money, which I think it's going to, the labor is not bad at all. I mean,
no.
We showed up here, we parked our motorhome, hooked up, the store was stocked, everything was done for us, really. I built that wall. He asked me if I would build it, and I said, sure.
That was a one-day thing.
Yeah, I mean, not even that, a couple hours. And then, I mean, she knows how to work the clover, so we've had to do.
Sale system.
Yeah, we've had to do a little bit of adjusting because, like, a couple of things haven't been in there and stuff like that. But I mean, basically, we're getting fat. All we're doing is eating all day. So when we get busy, that'll be good. Well.
Do I look fat, guys? Never mind.
Yeah, we've both been chowing down.
Scenic driveways. When you said Midwest, I thought you were talking about Wyoming. There's a Midwest Wyoming.
No, we're talking about Minnesota.
Scenic also says lowest price for diesel in town is $5.29. Trey said Starlink is great, 20 miles from the nearest cell. It's expensive, but they're paying only half because they're beta testers. And, you know, they're glampers now, not campers.
Who's this?
Trey.
Yeah.
And Wendy.
Yeah. Well.
So excited for Thursday, Jason and Amanda. Why? Tell us why.
Yeah, are you going to tell us why?
Are you going to tell us why? Everyone wants to know. And thanks, Maddie, for prompting the thumbs up. Appreciate you.
Did you look at any of those trucks I sent you? I sent you a couple more. Pretty nice ones. They were diesels, too. I guess not, huh? Where is he at? He has not popped up here yet, huh?
Yeah.
Where?
It's up. It's the blue RV.
So excited for Thursday. Yeah. He's not saying.
Well, maybe they're typing in the chat. Closing on 10 plus acres of land. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll be in Arkansas. They'll be, what are they, about 25, well, more than that, about 35 miles from us.
You know how far it is?
About 35 miles,
Have
isn't
you
it?
clocked it? And did you get your bike fixed yet?
Yeah, her bike got a flat.
Not her bicycle, her motor.
They must be typing again.
They're slow. It's probably Jason, and he's gone.
Yeah, one of these days you'll have a motorcycle shop near you that you can go to and get a tire replaced.
A guy with a trailer.
Yeah, and a trailer too. Go find me a diesel moped. Yeah. Well, I heard you were saying something about driving that big truck, but I think maybe you ought to get rid of that big truck so you're not driving that big truck.
I'm on the cell. I can't type that fast. No, Amanda's motorcycle's not fixed yet.
Did they pick it up though?
Did they pick it up?
They were going to come and take it to the shop or something, or to them.
Anyways, 2 eggs in a basket just got 10 acres in Arkansas for their home base.
Yeah.
So we're real happy for them.
They're doing something like we're doing.
Yeah.
So they can put their motorhome inside and their bikes inside, and they're going to have a barn dominium like us. We changed ours up. I'm pretty excited the way we want to do ours. I'm just hoping that if we make enough money here, we can go back and at least get the structure and the roof up this time. And then
Jason says yes, it's here.
Okay, good. And then we can get back to work and make more money, and then work on getting the slab and the walls and the doors in. And then we'll once we have all that, and we get to put the motorhome. Well, if we can just get the roof up, we'll be inside underneath the roof. I mean, it depends. If we make enough money here, we'll be able to do a lot more. The guy told me he would do incrementally. Yeah. So the trouble is, once they start doing that,
and
then we're going to be down to one spot.
We'll definitely video all that too.
Yeah.
Wendy and I also got us electric bikes. If we only had a Class A, we'd be complete.
There's some deals.
The truck has less than 12,000 on a new engine, and I had the 5-speed manual trans rebuilt while the engine was out. I'm going to keep it for runs to the dump, fishing, camping, etc. Taking the motorhome and trailer on a road trip to a repair place for Amanda's motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's good. You blow out the cobwebs too, you know. You guys are probably getting tired of the scenery there anyway. Gotta see something new for a minute.
Yep. Us too. Well, we've got I was saying, we put our calendar up here, and we go backwards, and we started at like 48 days or whatever.
I take a Cato marker and mark the days.
Yeah, we like it's like with the gate guarding. I always say the happiest day of gate guarding is the day you leave. But I mean, you make money and it's pretty simple work. This is even easier, don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're inside. It's air conditioned. We got our chairs. We're sitting in our chairs.
What did I miss? Jason said yes. We saw your text.
Okay. Well, I sent him some trucks
okay, yeah, okay.
to look at.
My wife and I will look for a second vehicle later on when we get some things paid off. Hey, Idaho Hillbilly.
There they are.
Welcome.
Hey, howdy. Yeah, so
nice to see you popping on.
Yeah. Anyway, we I don't know, Idaho Hillbilly I think is going to save the world.
Really?
He's pretty close, yeah. He's working on it.
Good. Somebody needs to.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying. This is going to happen, that's going to happen, but when, and if it doesn't, who's going to do anything about it?
But the question I have, and of course, if you're going to do the survival thing and you're going to grow a garden, and you've got to not only grow the garden, but you got to be able to can or freeze dry and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to it. You got to have storage. So we got to get everything set up. Yeah. Then that way we can, and that's probably what that shed end up being is. Maybe a storage shed for stuff like that, but it might be scarier. Yeah, it'd probably be better just we build the house thing. So
be a good prep for what you pull out of the garden, though.
Yeah, I wish I could show a good picture of what they look like. It's going to be really cool, man. It's going to be really cool. If we can get this, we can swing this bad boy. I'm going to be real excited.
They dehydrate. He said, I just wish people would wake up.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's the problem. People are not going to wake up. They're not going to wake up. They're just going to live their lives. Some people are just strictly going to live their lives. And I mean, I live my life, and a lot of people, man, you just got to be depressed and everything. I'm not depressed. I'm probably one of the happiest people you'll meet inside. The thing about it is it's going to be what it's going to be, and we're going to try to do what we can. But that's all you can do. You can only do what you can do. But I like to be informed. I like to know what's coming.
Yeah, John says only 16 likes. I think there's 17 now. Who's slacking? Liza says, you have sourdough bread. What else do you need?
Yeah, well, what I need is a big power source. The problem is this building here has a weird 50 amps.
I figured when we got here I wasn't going to be able to have time to do the bread, but it's so slow right now. We ran close to being out, so I was able to make some. And when I put it in the convection oven inside here,
we had two airs going. We had the water heater going.
Fine.
We had the refrigerator going.
And the ice
maker. And what happened is that it blew one of the circuits inside the building. And so I went
3 times.
Yeah, I went reset it all.
I was baking that sourdough.
So we figured out we can run the rear air, and we have to put the refrigerator on gas and shut the power off on the electric water heater, and then she can bake her bread. And it's not a problem with the RV. It's a problem with their breaker in there. They're apparently, whoever was here before blew that circuit a whole bunch of times. So
anyway.
Yeah. So.
But the thing of it was, is I put it in, and I'm like, well, I'm going to check it in half an hour, 30 minutes, 35 or 40, whatever. And I came out, and it was off. And I have no idea how long it was off for.
She goes, everything's off in the motorhome.
3 times.
So I said, well, let me check the breaker before I go in. And sure enough, the breaker was popped. So I flipped the breaker back on, and I came out here, and everything came back on. Everything was working. I said, well, it must have just blew that circuit. And so she came back out, and she reset it up again, and then went back in, and then she came back out again. It was all pop. So now we know that this air has to be off. And then the rear air went out the other day. It was not blowing cold at all.
Which is the same problem we've had with it.
We've had a problem. It blows freezing cold. It blows a lot cooler than the front one. But there was, at one time or another, something happened up there. I've replaced both these air conditioners, and it fried this one connector on there, and they on the condenser there's 3 pins that stick up, and they have like little wedgie deals like this, and we plug the thing on it, it goes onto this part here, and that's what kind of holds it. Well, this is gone. It just kind of like disintegrated. So I've been trying to make this get a tight fit on here, and I've tried multiple things, and they'll last for a while. I did kind of a funky dunky thing again, and it'll last. It could last for the whole summer. I don't know, but you know, if the connection isn't really good and tight, it gets hot. When it gets hot, it just disintegrates, and that's what's happened.
So. Hi, Rita. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Scenic driveways. My friend Jeff says high gas and fuel prices haven't had an impact on his campground. He's full every night. Well, that's good. That is good.
Yeah, well.
Did you send Maddie something, a text?
Did I?
Yeah, I think he was talking to Jason.
Yeah, I was talking to Jason.
That, Amanda, because Jason's looking for a
I found a couple of really good deals on Class C RVs. I mean, one was free, the other one was $800, and they were pretty clean, and they were like 21 foot, 24 foot was the other one. But you know, I mean, if you want me to send you those, I will.
She does.
Okay.
Rita, we're doing fine. We're sitting here trying to sell fireworks, so kind of slow. It'll pick up real soon, I think, but we've done better the last couple days. So.
Yeah. So Vince, I have.
Hey, Teresa.
I have 2 fuel filters, and they're both factory filters that came on the motorhome. And there's a water separator. It's about that tall and about that big around. And then there's also up by the injector pump, there's a little filter, and it's kind of a water separator too, but it's so hard to get to. It's really hard to change it. So what was it, like a week ago, I decided I was going to change the filter inside the hydraulic unit. I bought this filter in quartzite, and so I wanted to take it, and so there's like a band, and I unscrewed the one deal, and I couldn't get this thing off, man, and I hassled, and I finally got it off on there. And what I found is there's 2 bolts, one on the back side, but I had to pull the air cleaner back out to get to it. But if you pull the air cleaner out, bam, it's real simple. So got that all done, got it filled up with fluid again. I worry about that because it runs the cooling, the radiator fan, it runs all the steering and all that. So I just like to keep that thing changed. I hadn't done it in a while, so it's done now. Should be good to go.
Thanks, JT, for popping on. Tell Joanne hi.
Yeah, you be good. I'm sure we'll tangle here with the world again during the week.
I'm scared being full. The world is as strange as I've ever seen it. We do have our acreage, but I don't think we'll build on it. We're still looking for a home site by grandkids. Trey.
Yeah.
Rita, good to see you. Also, didn't realize you were live till I looked. Glad I checked. We were just talking about looking for an old, not too old camper to look at and possibly buy, but we also need a car.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. There was a camper, there was a Class C, and I think it was a 24-footer, and it looked pretty clean, and it was free. The guy just didn't want it anymore. So, but like I say, and I have to warn people, because I don't, when I send you something like that,
it's not an endorsement.
you have to research it, make sure don't give anybody any money until
Right.
you're standing there looking at it. Because if you give somebody money, next thing is gonna happen, they're not gonna answer your calls anymore or whatever. So you always want to make sure that you set up a time to go and look at it and say, hey, I really want it. We're gonna come and get it and that kind of stuff. And if they say, well, could you send me $500 or something like that? Tell them, well, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to come and I'm going to bring you that money. And I've learned, just tell them, I've learned from experience not to give money. Not that you would cheat me, but I'm just not going to give you any money until I see you. And then if they tell you, well, we got someone else that's it. So they just want the money. So you just got to be really careful. It's like, I don't look on Craigslist too much anymore because people were scamming real heavy there. They're still scamming on eBay. eBay's just like a minefield of criminals. So I've been kind of working off of Facebook Marketplace, and I think you have pretty good luck with that. I'm sure there's some creeps on there too, but yeah, we're that's why you just got to be careful. I mean, it's just like being in the store. We had an experience the other day where this young guy came in and he had this leather strap with a buckle on, with a, like you hook on your doggy's collar, but it was a big one. And he came in, he was snapping it like this and looking real hard at me. He had tattoos all over his face and everything. And he walked past and he went in the back of the store. And I told Darla, I'll be right back. And I ran out and ran back in. And I had protection then. So he was just weird. I don't know whether he was just weird or he was on something or what. I never got a real close look at his eyes, but man, something was going wrong. And I don't want to hurt anybody, but if they want money, if they're going to rob us, they're going to get the money. I mean, I'm not going to kill somebody over money, but if they're going to do something to us, then we're going to fight it out. That's how we're going to do it. So it's not just going to happen real easy. So do you use an additive to dry the diesel fuel? You know what? I used to put transmission fluid in the fuel to cause the fuel to be lubricated. On the newer ones, the fuel is really, you want to. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, to separate the water and the diesel, but the water separators do that pretty good. I mean, the diesel. The diesel floats on top of the water, so the water always drops to the bottom in those. And the way that the fuel goes in, it swirls it around, and it puts it on the bottom. I usually tend to buy better fuel. I buy from Flying J's a lot. Although lately I've been rolling the dice a little bit, but you can start it up in the morning and open the petcock down there and let it blow off a little bit. I use the Donaldson filters. I used to have the filters where the filter went on and then you had a glass bottom and all that kind of stuff, and it just leaked, And now I use the Donaldson filter. It's one filter. It's got a petcock at the bottom, and you screw it on, and you're done.
Rita said, where was that motorhome? Do you remember?
It was near Mena.
In Arkansas.
Yeah, it was in Arkansas.
Johnny Hunter, plan for the worst, hope for the best. I agreed.
Yeah.
Are you selling M1000s? No.
Oh, that.
Fireworks.
Well, we do have explosives.
Yeah, but not M1000s. This is, it won't surprise anyone. I'm doing the social media thing for this location so that people in the area know we're here, this is when we're open, this is what we've got, just kind of trying to get the word out. And I tried to post to a group, on Marketplace, that we were here and we were selling. Facebook wouldn't let me because they consider fireworks a weapon.
Yeah.
So instead of Sky Thunder fireworks, I just put Sky Thunder. We have what it takes to light up your night sky.
Yeah.
So, and it passed. So it's on Marketplace in the local area. So
What's weird is we've had people from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin come here to buy fireworks. New York.
New Yorkers came too.
So
some of them were here visiting family too, though.
But they always come over here to buy fireworks.
They bought before they went home.
Yeah, they buy before they go home because we have what they call the barely legal fireworks. So we have mortars and all that kind of stuff. And we're getting these guys in. They're like, what we do is we get a bunch of plywood and then we put these steel deals on there, these tubes, and we load them all up. And then I buy these long fuses, which we sell those, and wire everything all together, and then they light them off, and it's just one big huge. And we had a guy come in today, and he bought a bunch of that, bought a couple of fuses. So it's crazy stuff. A Tundra
for 200,000 miles. 200,000 miles on it, Jason said.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I would buy a diesel with 200,000 miles, but I wouldn't buy a gas powered truck with 200,000 miles unless it's had, like my truck's had the motor replaced. So
thank you, Rita.
It's good for another 150.
Says, I use Marble Mystery Oil in my fuel tank.
Yeah.
People are saying we're buffering and the screen went blank. So.
Are we back? It shows we're working.
I have.
Yeah. Darla's got it. What?
Hopefully.
Darla's right here watching it, so she can see. It looks like we're good on. Now she's lost. She's looking up recipes on Facebook. How to make sourdough bread. We're going to get off of here in a few minutes anyway, so. But yeah. Okay, we're back. Yeah, but cigarettes do, but at $9 a pack anymore. I don't have pretty expensive fuses. It blinked at you. There's Teresa. Is she on there? Has she been on there?
Mm-hmm. I said hi to her.
Oh, okay.
It blinked at you.
Yeah, so I don't know. Tonight, I think it's just the weather.
Yeah.
It's windy and it's rainy.
It's not cold, though.
Well, it's 76.
It's not cold.
Yes. Yeah, 76 degrees.
It looks blustery and like you should make like hot cocoa, but it's not cold. Definitely t-shirt weather.
And
with the wind blowing like it is, the rain dries like right now. It doesn't hang around.
And then we've had a lot of excitement out here on this little road.
Johnny Hunter, did the owner ever show you last year's sales by the month? No.
No, he just told me that how much the guy did here and told me how much he made. And
John says it's working good there.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
I think it's going to be well worth it. I mean, it's going to definitely be. It's going to be more than we probably ever made on any other job. I think.
For this period of time, I think at least for that it will be.
Yeah, I mean we're going to be here 2 months total. We're already we're in our 4th week, so we're about a month and a week out. We'll be done, and we really haven't made too much yet, but we're keeping track. We're writing everything down so that we have protection on our end.
We're keeping track of the sales.
You know, that's something I would recommend doing this, is that you keep track of everything you sell.
The Clover usually is set up so that you can print reports off, but he only has it reporting partial, and I don't know why.
Credit cards, right?
Cash.
Cash? Okay.
He gets a report on credit cards from the bank, but he wants me to send him reports on the cash. So I do.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a real honest guy.
Because the credit cards are not being kept track of in a reportable fashion, for me to print off, I won't know unless I go sale by sale. So that's what I've been doing, and I write it on the calendar per day, how much cash, how much credit card. So we go from there. And that's, you know, the gross minus the tax. I keep track of that. Would alert you to project sales and when it starts. Yeah, well, we know now.
What are our quartzite plans for this year?
Not to get a blood clot first and foremost.
Yeah. To be honest, our plans are always to go to quartzite. We plan on going to quartzite, but you know, just like this, we weren't sure we were really coming until.
What's the fuel going to be? You know.
Yeah, I mean, we just decided to roll the dice on this one, but I mean, our only expenses here has been. I mean, I think I put $45 worth of gas in the truck, and I still have a half a tank of fuel. So we don't really do a lot of driving, and everything's real close. I mean, we get on the freeway, go one off ramp, and get off, and everything's right there. Like Walmart, everything's there. So it's eating is our expense. We don't have utilities. We don't have any of that. No. So we've been buying some stuff because I needed to have a extension. I had a hose. I had just enough sewer hose, but it was one of the hoses was bad. So I ordered another one. It came in and it was worse than the one that I threw away. So we sent it back and they sent me a new one, and now we're all good on that. And we bought a couple of little things that we needed, but now we're just kind of taking it easy, and we're going to see how much, because when we leave here, we want to go see my son in North Carolina, and then our youngest in Georgia, and then we're going to go back and stay a few days in Little Rock by our oldest daughter, and see all the grandbabies and spend time with them, and then we're going to go back home, and then we're going to be
there.
Maybe building the building, maybe doing a lot. I don't know what we're going to be doing yet. I mean, that's the hard part about these times, is that you can't really plan out things like you normally would do, you know? I mean, if you have unlimited funds, then you can do whatever you want, but we don't have unlimited funds. And so we're trying to do everything. We're trying not to get in debt. We don't want to be in debt.
No.
I mean, I could probably borrow the money in 5 minutes to build everything, but you know, the thing about it is then it seems real good when you do that, but then the payments come. And
Teresa says, haven't been here long, been crazy week last weekend, this one's starting out worse. Explain. When I would buy fireworks, the weeks right before were crazy. Yeah, I expect by mid-June, it's going to be frenetic. We'll just have to, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll just have to do the do.
Excuse me. Well,
Terry says he thinks it's cheaper right now to eat out than to buy groceries.
It seems that way. Yeah, because I mean, what we used to get for $70, $80, we're paying $200 now.
Yeah.
The price of Milky Ways went way up.
We're spending no more here than we would at home. True. Jason and Amanda, I'd rather cook at home than eat out.
Yeah, that's true.
There's just not a lot of options that are good, for sure.
Well, I got Subway today at the truck stop, and you loved yours, I imagine.
Mine was good.
Yeah.
I got a BLT wrap.
Yeah, she eats weird stuff, so I got a steak, Philly steak cheese or whatever it was, and it's kind of funky. Yeah. Not really excited. I'd rather eat at home anymore too, because it's just, although the Arby's here is really good, they make a beef dip that is, I love their beef dip. So.
I can't stand Arby's.
Yeah. Well, I thought they made that turkey Swiss thing for you.
Yeah, well.
You didn't like that?
The flavor of that was okay, but the tortilla was like concrete.
It was old.
Yeah.
Well, I told him you got the old concrete once because that's what she likes. I told you she eats weird stuff. She ate it. So, Yeah, I mean, actually, it's probably cheaper for us to be here because when we're at home, it's 17 miles to town one
Yeah.
way, so we burn a lot more fuel when we're there.
Johnny Hunter, I used to buy fireworks at Boomtown when I passed by and kept it till the holidays.
Yeah,
See, that's what I think is going to happen here too. I had one guy come in the other day and he said, "I will be back." He said, "My anniversary is on July 1st, and then the 4th is right around the corner." And he goes, "We do fireworks for our anniversary and for the 4th."
yeah, and they a lot of people say, oh, we spend usually about $1,000 on fireworks. I'm like, okay,
We'll see.
we'll be sitting here waiting for you to come back. So, yeah, so we got that, and then it's I have no doubt it's going to be good, and the money that we're going to make is going to be excellent. I'll report on that more after we're done
Yeah.
because we're like I said, everything is rolling the dice right now. That's where we're at. We're here. We don't really know too much about the people around here and all that kind of stuff. At first, it seemed like a very unfriendly place, but as we've been here more, I mean, we're used to walking in the Walmart in our hometown, and I mean, we can't get through the store without talking to 30 people. Here, we could go through and all we got were dirty looks, but now it seems like everybody's kind of warming up to us.
Well, they've seen us week after week.
Yeah,
Like,
and
oh,
we had a guy come in this morning, drove around the cones, had an old GMC pickup, pretty cool looking old truck, and
he was real nice.
yeah, and he came back and he was real nice and bought some stuff, and yeah, he stayed and talked to us for what?
An hour.
Yeah, at least
Easily.
an hour, and other people were coming in. He was waiting for them to get done, and he was still hanging out. So,
And he said he'd be back.
yeah, he said he'd be getting a
And
lot
he did
more
buy.
stuff. Yeah. So and then we had that one guy
Publix.
that
What?
bought a bunch of
Right. He bought it.
yeah.
He was our biggest customer yet. Publix is the most expensive grocery store. See, that was in Florida.
Yeah.
Publix was in Florida, and I agree.
We have a Kroger's and a Walmart here.
Right.
So we got those two. And then what this town is known for, their claim to fame, is the most fast food restaurants in the smallest amount of area. And I mean, their signs are all around. I mean, you can't look anywhere without seeing. And I mean, Waffle House and Taco Bell, and I mean, just on it. There's even a Bob's Big Boy. I don't know how that happened. So White Castle, Wendy's, and Arby's, and Sonic, and McDonald's, and they don't have a Taco Bell or Jack in the Crack.
Oh yeah.
Where we can get crappy tacos.
We'll make our winter travel plans around yours. To be honest, we just break an even on our fixed income traveling. If prices go up, we won't be traveling as much. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's why we keep working these jobs. You know.
Yeah.
We fired Johnny Hunter. We fired at Christmas and July 4th. Yes. New Year's. I mean, people have any reason at all. Like they've been coming in and going, "Oh, my kid likes them," so we've had a few of those.
Yeah, it was a guy and his kid came in. Neither one of them spoke English, and they bought a bunch of stuff. So.
Yeah. Mark, hi Mark. I'm too cheap to buy fireworks. I'd rather watch a display somewhere. Yeah, let your neighbors buy it, right?
I tell people here, I go, yeah, where we used to come from, where we came from, we couldn't fire. You couldn't buy fireworks. You couldn't shoot them off, but they would always have like somewhere where they would shoot them off. And the finale of the show was watching the fire trucks put out the fires. So, because we lived in the Mojave Desert, man, and it always caught something on fire. But they had the fire trucks sitting right there.
Kentucky, very much like Arkansas. They like Arkansans better than Californians.
You know what's weird is in Arkansas they used to hate Californians, but since the Texans have been coming up there,
they're the new hated.
They like the Californians better than they do
Yeah,
the Texans, because the Texans come up there and they got a real tutti frutti, fresh and mean and nasty attitude about everything. And
they look down their nose at the Arkansas.
Yeah, and they drive like crazy, and yeah, they're just
whatever. How would you say that? In Arkansas. Arkansas?
I don't know, just Arkies. That's what they use. That's what they call you. But
Anyway.
the thing is, I'll go to the gas station and I'll see a Texas license plate and I'll start talking smack about Texas. These guys look at me like, hey,
No.
nobody talks bad about us, you know.
Bill wrote that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, in case you were wondering.
No, I wrote the book, How to Piss Them Off. Yeah, okay. Well, a few more minutes. We got 29 people.
All I know is I'm glad we got our license plates changed.
Yeah. From what? From
South Dakota.
Yeah.
Well, from California to South Dakota and from South Dakota to Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, South Dakota worked out. You know, they're changing things up there now. They're making people go to jury duty, even if they are an RVer, and they're not excusing people. So I'm going to tell everybody the secret to not have to do jury duty. And I was told this by a police officer, and he told me, he said, when they send you the thing, just throw it away. Because once you answer it, it's like if somebody knocks on your door and says, okay, you've been subpoenaed to court. You know, here's your subpoena. If you throw it away, they can't prove that you got it. They can do whatever they want, but they can't prove you got it, you know, and that's just the way it goes. So I just toss them.
Johnny, Arkansonen. He's guessing how you say it. I don't know. I've been thinking about.
They call us Arkies. That's what they call it.
West Coast Roller. I've been thinking about getting a South Dakota license.
Yeah, well, we did it.
I think it's worth it.
We had it for 12 years. Yeah. It's a lot cheaper in Arkansas, though. I mean, our license plates are cheaper. Our insurance.
But you're not going to find a mail forwarding company there.
Huh?
You're not going to find a mail forward. We'll handle that for you.
Yeah.
$12 a month.
Yeah. The post office by us holds our mail, so when we go back, they'll give us all our mail. So I mean, but you know, the postmaster, it's her, and then there's like 3 delivery people, and then she has a person that comes in 1 day a week. So I mean, it's a real small town. I mean, it's
370 people.
382.
Yeah.
So, and we make it 384. But well, of course, people have been dying there, so you never know. It kind of goes up and down. But
Dalton says deal.
Yeah, it's a cool place. I mean, we like, of course, we have family there too, so it makes a big difference. But
Dalton, we went with Your Best Address. We used to recommend them. I'm not too keen on them anymore.
No, because we knew it was a family. It was a father and mother and daughter, and it was, of course, if you got the mom, you go, I got wrong number here. You know,
Mom had dementia.
Yeah, she said, oh, okay, I'll get that going for you, and then you call back about a week later. Did you send my mail? Who is this? Do you have service here? You know. And can I talk to Tina?
We learned real early on.
But Tina isn't there anymore. But
her parents sold the company, and she stayed on with them for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then she's
I'm sure it's okay.
I guess the thing of it is they set us at $10 a month, and then they upped it to $12. And then if you call and you're like, hey, did I get my whatever you're looking for in the mail? Tina used to rifle through stuff, and she'd go, oh, yeah, here it is. And then we'd say, okay, can you send our mail or whatever? But if they look for something for you, they charge you, I think it's $1.50 to look.
Yeah, they charge you $1.50 to check your mail. It's like, what? We used to just call Tina and go, yeah, will you check my mail? Yeah, I'll check it for you. She always had a kind of attitude, but she'd do everything for you. And she'd, you know, they were pretty good. Of course, now we have a whole different situation, and makes it nicer. We don't have to.
Yeah, and Dalton said he's surprised that it's cheaper in Arkansas. We kind of were too, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, we
are cheaper.
And now we're not going to be paying the $144 a year.
Right.
and we're not going to have to be paying for our mail service.
Yeah, the postage to get that stuff sent to us.
And then we don't have to make a special trip to go to South Dakota every 5 years to get your driver's license.
You can skip one time, and we did that.
Yeah.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, the last time, but the insurance people up there, they were really
scalpers. Yeah, scalpers.
They just kind of, every year it went up, and every year they, you'd say, well, I thought insurance was supposed to go down with time. No, it doesn't. And you know what? Your vehicles aren't worth nothing, but you're going to pay more money to get nothing back. To get Yeah. And so now we just deal direct with Progressive. I'm not a big fan of Progressive because I know what they're about.
Because they're progressive.
But you know what? You can't do anything in this world without dealing with the cabal. So, I mean, you're just stuck. That's just the way it is. So, I mean, they, all the food and everything else, it's all controlled by the crazy.
All right. So. Tell you what, Train Wendy, you need to come with your family to our property and show the kids how awesome it is, and you can stay on our property, and they'll love it. They'll fall in love with it, and then you guys can all move there.
Well, it gets cool in the wintertime, but it's not like
Idaho.
Not like Idaho.
Not like, yeah.
I mean, they've actually had, Texas and that deep south freeze thing. That happens.
We do get snow. But...
Yeah, a little bit, but not much. But they did get that thing where it got like, what was it, 10 below or something for like a week.
Yeah.
They got the same thing as Texas, but the whole South was inundated with that. And that happens about every 20 or 30 years or something. But, you just...
Yeah, stay in the mountains in Arkansas. The kids will love it. They'll love it.
Yeah.
I promise you they'll love it.
It's really pretty there. It's real green. I mean, even in the wintertime, it gets a little bit brown, but it's still green. I mean, the pines and everything, there's a lot of pine trees, so it stays green all year long.
Lots and lots of water.
Lots of
waterfalls and streams.
Where there's a creek bed, there's water in it. Yeah. I mean, there's pretty much water everywhere, and you just of course, Idaho has a lot of snakes. A lot of snakes. I didn't think they did, but they do. They do. I mean, I haven't seen any. We've seen one snake since we've been going to Arkansas. We saw that water moccasin. My brother was trying to get it. He was trying to, because it was over where his bulls are at, so he was going to try to kill it. But
I register my vehicles in Yuma, Arizona, cheap insurance rates, Dalton says.
Yeah.
I've heard that. My brother just moved from Arizona. He lived in Havasu, and he can't stand what it's become.
He lived there 17 years, right? Mm-hmm. And we went there this year, and it was
so congested.
It was really bad. Last year it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as this. This year is crazy. Roxanne's here. All right. We've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
We were about to go, and I said we can't leave yet because Roxanne has. I said hello to Roxanne.
Vince said, I knew a Glenn McLean who was living in Florida for a while, whose wife was from... Yeah.
From what?
The only poison ones are rattlers up here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Central America. Was he a cousin? No. Don't know any Glenn McLeans.
No, it's all John, Hanks, Hoyts,
Country names.
Country names.
Not astronaut names.
Like Bill. Yeah, there's quite a few Bills in Arkansas.
Texans are moving to the mountains in Arkansas.
Well, they're not moving there. What they're doing is they're buying the property and then getting those side by sides and going out there and tearing everything up. Yeah. People are getting pissed about it,
They're building these big weekend retreats that are bigger than anybody's house.
Well,
they are, and they come on the weekends and they tear up the weekends and they tear up the countryside. And I mean, there's a big ATV off-road kind of trails and stuff like that specifically for that business, and it's doing very well.
Well, they used to like the Californians because the Californians would go there, buy property or buy a house or whatever, and move in, and then all the locals come around, hanging around, and you got someone to mow your lawn, you got someone to do everything, and they basically just take all your money, punch you in the nose, and send you back to wherever you came, back to California. And the Californians would do that and try to save money to go back. The Texans go in there and they just treat everybody. They don't treat people real nice. And I mean, usually Texas people are really cool because we've worked a lot in Texas.
Rita, they're moving to Arkansas, the mountains in Arkansas. It snowed here last week, Trey. Arkansas is the tropics for us. My family is from there, so I spent every summer there in my youth. Of course, that's when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Yeah, the diamond fields, and there's all kinds of things.
It's just there's so many things to see. We've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, Scotch Irish in Arkansas. Well, yeah, and our last name is like when I say my name, people go, "Are you related to?"
I know.
And and so we have my family, my personal family has been in that area for what 150, 200 years. So she found that my ancestors first came to the United States in 1775. So right before I became the United States, and then they settled in the Arkansas area, Arkansas and Oklahoma and that area. So
they're talking about legalizing side by side on the roads here. Mellow Cat. That's Arkansas.
We drive on the roads in the Ranger.
It's not legal.
Yeah, well, but we're carrying guns, so we have all these rifles because we go out armadillo hunting. We go in the pastures because they root in there and it's caused cows to come up lame. So we go, and you know what? We shoot them, but that doesn't kill them. You know what kills them? The dogs. They jump out of the Ranger and they go and they get them and tear them apart.
Rita, no, I don't know anything about magnesium chloride topically for inflammation with DMAE when I don't know what DMAE is. Can you tell me, please?
Oh, okay. On Arkansas.
Yeah,
you know, we don't have to get up early tomorrow, by the way. Too early.
I know.
Okay. I get up early, but you don't have to.
I know. Then I'm tired.
But you're tired.
I'm tired.
You're not tired.
You don't know what I am.
We have all these people on here. Do you want to disappoint them?
I'll go to bed and you keep chatting.
Yeah, but I got nothing to say. They want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me.
Mine are North Carolina, then Arkansas, Scotch Irish. I gotta say goodnight. Sorry, my brain is mush. Serious lack of sleep. I feel you, Teresa. Have a good evening's rest. Thanks for coming on.
You'd like this job, Teresa.
You
Some more, a lot more kickback.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like selling Christmas trees. It's not all year round. I used to tell guys, I go, you know, you can make a career out of this. You could sell Christmas trees all year round. Really? Yeah. Santa comes in August. You never got August
well, you
Christmas?
Know, in the
around?
Summertime, they could go to Australia.
Yeah, there you go.
Christmas over there. And
no, they have it the same time we do.
No.
In the summer.
It's wintertime over there.
It is, but they have their Christmas in the summer.
House shovels over there? Motorcycles, you mean? 2 eggs?
There's every kind of bike here, Jason.
Tons of them. Yeah.
There's every. There are 200 to 300 motorcycles
not
every
the
day.
Old ones though, like what he's talking. But there's lots and lots of them.
Yeah, that one over there, I'm gonna get that one. I think that guy, he's letting it sit outside. It's just not bad enough yet. So.
It's raining again.
Yeah, panhead. I'd take a panhead, shovelhead, knucklehead. Anything old.
You better sell some fireworks.
Well, they probably happen after I have the shop. Oh, boy, these allergies eat me alive. Well, you guys, I'm going to let Darla go to bed, so we're going to have to cut this thing off. But
Rita's son said you look like George Lucas.
I look like George. I wear my biker dark glasses in the store.
Fireworks around here on the interstate.
Normally this one is kickback, LOL, but with lack of RVers, the managers are working the gates. I've had 3 hours sleep since 1 p.m. yesterday.
Wow, that's awful. Go sleep.
Well,
Go sleep.
if anybody's looking for a job, contact
Gate
Guard One Services,
or contact us and we'll tell you who to talk to.
Was it you guys that said they needed 20 couples right now?
Yeah.
Was it?
It was Guard One.
Man, I've never seen that before. But see, that's the deal. Is this is all on private land down there? Oil, man. While the prices are high, pump the oil. So of course they're pumping the American people, but anyway. Well, you guys, thanks for watching us again. We always appreciate you coming on our lives, and we got approved for super chats.
We're not doing super chats.
We're not going to do the super chats. We don't want.
Super chats is about us getting money.
We don't want to make money off our friends.
I show him Bill a picture of George Lucas.
I know who he is, but I'm a lot cuter than him. Don't you think?
A lot.
Yeah. He looks kind of scrunchy, doesn't he?
But he has a lot of money.
Yeah, that's. Can I see your wallet? I used to be rich. So good night, y'all. See you on down the road. Love you both. There we go. Lots of love tonight.
Fuel shortage. That's right, Dalton. Good night, you two. Take care.
Yeah, I've been watching you, Dalton, when you were cruising across town there. So starting to do videos again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to your next one, Dalton.
It would be awesome to be able to make enough money off of YouTube, but it's just so.
It's
so
funky. They play with the analytics.
Yeah, it's really flaky.
But anyways,
it's really flaky. But
you guys, thank you so much for popping on tonight, saying hi to us. We always appreciate the time.
Yeah, glad you got to see me.
George Lucas.
Yeah. Much better looking than George Lucas.
Way broker.
Thanks. I thought you liked me.
I did. Gosh. Anyways.
Well,
all right, guys.
That's my tots. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Good night.
Good night.